Right, folks, happy Friday evening. So, as promised, I'm going to do these sort of like bite-size videos on a Friday now for you all. Just quick videos, quick projects. So here I've got some scrap wood. Let's get into the action, none of the waffle. Got some scrap plywood here that I've had knocking about for ages. And I'm just going to make something out of this, and then using some of the other scraps that's behind me, I'm just going to make something else. Now, these are two items I'm going to use in the workshop. One of the things I've got a problem with is I need sort of jigs and stuff like that, because and sort of like little helpers that'll help me with the size of my workshop and not being set out right. Sometimes things can get a little bit, not, I wouldn't say dangerous, a little bit airy sometimes when I'm like trying to balance wood, and I'm trying to, one of the things lately I've had a habit of doing is sort of like cutting my fingers with the little Japanese pull saw. So I'm making something for that to sort of alleviate that. Well, I think that's the right word, alleviate. So anyway, this first one here is just something that's super basic, and it will just help me no end. So if you've got like a small workshop and you just need these little things, this wood, it doesn't owe me any money at all. It is actual scrap. So it's a little stand, and what I'm going to use it for is stick it on me sort of like table I use as like my worktop table there. And when I'm using the mitre saw, if I'm using sort of long strips of wood, it can be sort of a bit tricky to get them cut. And the clamp that's on the saw obviously is okay for smaller bits, but when you've got like a 2, 3, sometimes 4 metre piece of board to go across it, it can be a little bit tricky, a little bit, and it can make it a little bit dangerous. So this is just something that's so simple. It's, it can take you sort of less than 10 minutes to knock up. I go a little bit overboard with it, making it super strong and all that kind of stuff. And here he is, checking out on proceedings like always. Royal Mail's finest there. So I'm just gluing everything here and screwing everything together. Whether I'm doing this right, whether I'm doing it wrong, I do not know. Let me know in the comments if these Friday videos are to your liking. The Wednesday and Sunday videos are all going to be the same. And don't forget to tune in Sunday. I've got an absolute cracking video coming Sunday, and I hope you all like it. It's something I've never made before, and it's just the first time I'm making it. And as I'm doing this video, I've not actually finished the video. I'm halfway through it, so there you go. That tells you everything. So there again, I'm just getting some scraps, and there's a little stand there. Now, it just makes a massive difference. I've made it to the height of the thing, and that can just be put away under the table, hung up, whatever. And that is just super simple, super effective, and it just makes my life a lot easier, and it's a lot safer. So if you're in a small workshop, you can make these little changes. I've got to do this work area up at some point, but I am going to incorporate little things like that, because of the size of the workshop, you can make things work. You really can if you try. So this second one, now I'm just doing 3 different sizes of this to show you what I'm going to use it for, because it might be sometimes you get into need to get into small spaces and stuff. He's debating. There he goes. He doesn't really need a ramp there, but I am going to make him one. So I'm just marking everything out. So if you notice, they're all different widths, but you can make these to any size, to any task that suits you for whatever project you're using, and it'll become aware shortly. So just making everything neat. You don't even have to go to all this trouble I'm going to here, making them super sort of like, centimetres. I wouldn't say centimetre perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But getting them sort of looking right and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going in here. What I'm trying to do here is just find the centre of that board there. I mean, there's various ways of finding centres of a board, but this is one. Again, I'm doing it here. And, you know, I found this quite a good thing to use. Now, the other week, what happened was I ended up like using the little Japanese pull saw, and I know you're supposed to saw away from you, but there's some times that you can't just have that saw going away from you all the time, and it got to come to you. And it nipped my fingers because what it does when you're using them little saws, I don't know if you're finding it yourself, it can release loads of tension in sort of like plugs when you're doing sort of the plugs over screws when you're plugging and that, and they can flip off everywhere. And also the saw seems to sort of like ping out, and then obviously if you're doing it towards you, which really you shouldn't be doing, but sometimes you've got to, it can nip your fingers, and twice it happened to me last week. My own stupid fault, but then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make one of these and see what they're like, just to help that, because as you know, sometimes you just can't saw away from you. And if you've got like a project up on a bench or something like that, it's not like you can take the project to a saw, and if you're putting plugs in and stuff like that, the pull saw, the little Japanese pull saw, is fantastic bit of kit, isn't it? So I'm just going in here with a jigsaw, just cutting a V into where that hole was. Now, the reason for the hole at the end is I think it's to do with tension. Yeah, I'm not sure. I may be right. If anybody knows that's right or wrong, let me know. Let me know what you think of these videos, these little bite-sized videos. So I'm just putting a little handle on there. Now, the first version I made it wrong, like the other day before I did this video, and it didn't work because I didn't put an handle on it. Stupid me. I'm trying to get something to sort of like stop my fingers being sort of cut and stuff like that, and then I end up holding it at the side, which was just not the thing. So the thing is have an handle on the top. It was just such a stupid mistake. I couldn't like work out why I did it, but anyway, I'm just working out there which is the easiest way to have that handle. I'll glue this and I'll screw this on. Just line it up best way you can. You can offset this to whatever. If you like want to twist that sideways a little bit or whatever. And here they all are. I keep losing pencils. Then they all sort of turn up all at once, like buses in the UK. You can't get a bus and then like 3 turn up at once. So I'm just going to sand over everything here and make him a little bit pleasing to the touch. But you don't have to do this step. If you're sort of like just want to just knock these up to throw them to one side, and it's all made of scrap wood. Again, another little thing that's absolutely cost no money. And what happens is, I think it's sort of self-explanatory now what you do with it. So I'm going back to this little project, and I thought I need to hang this up, so I'll cut like a little gap in it just to hang it up, and I'll just give it a sand back. There he is. Again, he's very, very nosy, is Stanley. You don't have to be super accurate with this bit. You know, a couple of holes and a bit of a jigsaw to make an handle there be perfect. It's shop furniture. It's to help you. That's what it's there for. And if it gets bruised and battered, it doesn't matter. It takes you like literally no time to knock another one up. I should have done this on a flat really, but I weren't actually making the handle, was I? So I just thought I'd put one in the end. But if I'd have thought on at the beginning, I would have cut that with a bit of a backer board behind it to stop the tear out. There's a bit of tear out, but you don't see it. Makes no difference. It won't affect what I'm using it for anyway. And it's not like a bit of furniture, a fine bit of furniture. I'm just marking out there, and a simple jigsaw straight across, and a a sand back in that hole just so you don't get no sharp splinters or anything. I don't know what it is, but doing these little shop jigs and little workshop helpers, I get a kick out of them because it just like this there, a little sort of crazy little table like that. As I've used it since I'm doing this editing on this video, but I've used it since and it's amazing. Works really well. So there's the plug, and you simply slide that over, slide your flush saw, and if you're in a tight space, you've got a saw towards you. There you go. And it's so simple, it stops it pinging off because it gets trapped in there. And it makes the cutting really easy and your hands are out of the way. Let me know what you think. And I've made 3 different sizes. You can make this to whatever project you want to make it to. So you've got a wide board, you can use a wider one, give you a bit more stability. They work really well. Just a so simple thing like that. And look at that hand, that blade is not going to touch my hand now, so that makes a difference. And that's one of the problems I was having with sort of long boards there, just to show you. I could have showed you this earlier in the video. So just put like so simple. There'll be different things like this that people make, but there you go. And that now is nice and stable. It's like a second hand. And I love them little plug jigs there. Fantastic. So hope you all like this Friday bite size. I'll do one next Friday, and don't forget my video on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, comment and share. Thank you. Bye.